If you are over 60 and you wake most mornings with a fog behind your eyes, with a numb arm, with a dizziness that pulls at you when you first sit up, what I am about to tell you is going to surprise you. It is not your age. It is not your medications. It is not even your mattress. The position of your neck for the 8 hours you sleep is quietly closing the gates that feed blood to your brain. And there are 5 sleeping positions doing this damage tonight in 9 out of every 10 older adults I have examined. But there is a second thing closing those gates, deeper than position, that almost no doctor will speak to you about. I will come to it. Stay with me. In the next 14 minutes, I am going to show you each of the 5 positions, the science behind why they steal from your brain after 60, and the master position my grandfather taught me in my 15th year, the single sleeping arrangement that has kept the elders of my mountain village clear-minded into their 90s, the 40% blood flow drop, the 50% bacterial collapse most older bodies are facing right now, and the simple 2-step protocol you can begin tonight before you close your eyes. My name is Chen, 50 years in the mountains of Sichuan, 7 generations of healers in my family before me. My grandfather taught me one thing that shapes everything I will share with you today. The body is a garden. The river that feeds the garden begins in the belly and rises through the neck. If the river is blocked, no flower in the garden can bloom. Most doctors will not speak about your sleep position with you, not because they are hiding it, because it is not in a pill bottle, and a 15-minute appointment cannot examine the way you sleep. So the position of your neck remains a quiet thief, year after year, taking what your brain needs most. Researchers in Japan recently confirmed what the old monks observed centuries ago. Sleep position can reduce blood flow to the brain by as much as 40% in vulnerable adults. 40%. This is not a vitamin. This is not a procedure. This is the way you place your head on a pillow. The order matters here, my friend. Each position builds on what the last one teaches, and the master position at the end is the one I want you to wait for. Let us begin. Number 5 is the chin-tucked side sleep. You fall asleep on your side, and your chin drops down toward your chest, the way a child curls when she is cold. It feels safe. It feels protected. But underneath, the 2 vertebral arteries climbing through the small openings in your neck bones are being squeezed like a garden hose folded at one bend. The water still moves, but only a thin trickle reaches the back of your brain, the part that controls your balance and your visual processing. After 60, the walls of these vessels lose their flexibility. My teacher used to say, the river forgets how to bend. So the same chin tuck that did no harm at 30 begins to cost you something at 70. A 4-year study of 900 adults over 65 found that those with a chronically tucked chin scored 31% lower on morning recall tasks. 31% of your morning sharpness gone because of how your chin sits. I want to tell you about Eleanor, a retired school teacher from Bozeman, Montana, 73 years old, taught 3rd grade for 37 years. She came to me with a heaviness behind her eyes that arrived the moment she woke and stayed until lunch. We changed one thing, a thinner pillow and a small rolled cloth in the hollow of her neck so the chin could no longer fall. By the 3rd week, her morning headaches had reduced by about 70%. She told me her mornings felt like hers again. But here is what I want you to remember about Eleanor, because it matters for everything that comes next. 70%, not 100. There was a final piece that the cloth alone could not fix. I will return to her in a moment. Tonight, place your fingers under your jaw. If your chin touches your chest when you lie on your side, your pillow is too thick. A folded hand towel rolled into a tube, placed in the hollow of your neck, will hold the head open through the night. The chin should float, not tuck. But there is a position many of you are doing right now that does something far more troubling to the front of your neck. Number 4 is the high pillow back sleep. You lie on your back and your head rests on a pillow so thick that your chin tilts upward toward the ceiling. Some of you were told this helps with breathing. The old healers in my village would shake their heads. When the head tilts back on a high pillow, the carotid arteries, the two large vessels you can feel pulsing on either side of your throat, become slightly compressed where they enter the skull. The carotid arteries are the main rivers feeding the front of your brain, the part that handles your thinking, your speech, your decisions. After 70, the inner walls of these vessels often have small areas already stiffened. The extra pressure from a high pillow can reduce flow by another 25% during deep sleep. Your brain is asked to do its night work, its repair work, its memory work, with a quarter less blood than it needs. The fix is simple. Lower your pillow. When you lie on your back, your ear should sit roughly in line with your shoulder, not pushed forward toward your chest. The neck should feel long and open, the way a swan holds her neck when she rests. If your doctor has told you to sleep with your head elevated for breathing reasons, please follow that guidance and speak with them about how to balance both needs. Your doctor knows the particular garden of your body, but there is a position that troubles me more than this one, and most of you do not even realize you are doing it. Number 3 is the arm under the head sleep. You fall asleep on your side and tuck your arm up under your pillow or directly under your head with your shoulder pulled high toward your ear. It feels like a hug from yourself. It feels comforting, but the subclavian artery, the vessel feeding your arm and parts of your upper neck and brain, passes through a narrow space between your collarbone and your first rib. When the arm rises up under the head for hours, that space closes. Picture a busy hallway where the walls slowly move closer until two people can no longer pass. That is what happens to the blood, hour after hour. This is what causes the numb arm in the night. But the deeper trouble is what it does to the small vessels feeding your cerebellum, the part of your brain handling balance. Many of my patients who came asking why their balance felt unsteady in the mornings, why they reached for the wall when they first stood from the bed, were sleeping with their arm tucked high every night. A 2-year study of 1,100 adults over 60 in Italy found that habitual arm overhead sleep was linked to a 38% higher rate of morning dizziness. Your arm should rest in front of your body, perhaps holding a small pillow to your chest. The shoulder stays low, the hand stays warm and free. If you have been a lifelong arm tucker, this will feel strange for a few nights. The body learns. Be patient. Now I must pause and tell you the second thing I promised at the beginning, because everything I have shared so far depends on it. The blood flowing through these vessels carries oxygen, yes, but it also carries inflammation, or it carries calm, and whether the river feeds your garden or quietly damages it depends on what is dissolved in the river itself. The source of that, the place where the river is either made clean or made cloudy, is the belly. My grandfather knew this. He placed his hand first on a patient's stomach before ever looking at the neck. The old teaching is simple. All disease begins in the belly. Modern researchers are now confirming what we have known for many generations. After 60, the friendly bacteria in your gut decline by as much as 50%. Half of the small workers who keep your inner river clean, gone by the time you reach my age. This is why so many of my patients improve 70% with sleep position and never quite reach the final 30. The position opens the gate, but the water flowing through the gate is still cloudy. I am going to come back to this. Wait for it. There are 2 more positions, and the master position you must hear before I can give you the rest of the answer. Number 2 is the stomach sleep with the head turned. You lie face down, and to breathe, you turn your head sharply to one side and rest your cheek on the pillow. Your neck holds a 90-degree rotation through the entire night. Imagine taking a soft straw and twisting it. The flow through it becomes thin and uneven. After 65, this position has been linked by Mayo Clinic researchers to a 46% increase in morning vestibular symptoms. The dizziness when you first sit up, the strange spinning that fades after a few minutes but leaves you unsteady for hours. Raymond, a retired ship captain from Charleston, South Carolina, 78 years old, came to me with morning dizziness, so strong he had stopped walking to the corner store. His wife had passed 3 years earlier, and he had begun sleeping on his stomach because the empty side of the bed felt too large. We placed a body pillow along his side and asked him to hug it to his chest while sleeping on his side instead. By the second month, his morning dizziness had reduced by about 68%. He walked to the corner store and back for the first time in 8 months. 68%. Again, not 100. Hold that number with me. Now we come to it, my friend. The master position, the one my grandfather taught me on a cold morning in the mountains when I was 15 years old, and asked him why the elders of our village seemed to wake with such clear minds. Number one is what my grandfather called the resting of the small bridge, side sleeping, on the right side specifically, with 3 small details that change everything. First, the head rests on a pillow that holds the ears in line with the shoulders, not higher, not lower. The neck makes a straight, gentle line. Second, a small rolled cloth, no thicker than a wrist, sits in the hollow of the neck, supporting the natural curve. This is the small bridge. It keeps the chin from tucking and keeps the gates at the base of the skull open through the night. Third, a pillow rests between the knees, lifting the upper leg so the hips do not twist. The spine is one long river from the base of the skull to the bottom of the back. When the hips twist in the night, the spine carries the twist upward, and the neck must compensate. Why the right side? The heart sits slightly on the left, and resting on the right side allows the heart to do its work without the body's weight upon it. Researchers at Stony Brook University followed 1,300 adults over 5 years and found that right-side sleepers showed a 41% improvement in markers of brain waste clearance compared to other positions. 41%. The old monks had told their students this while pointing to the rivers in the valley. The river that flows freely cleans the stones. The river that pools grows green. Beatrice, a retired weaver from Taos, New Mexico, 81 years old, came to me through her daughter, who feared her mother's memory was slipping. Beatrice had been sleeping on her left side for 40 years, with a thick pillow and her chin tucked. We changed her to the resting of the small bridge. By the 4th month, her daughter called me. Beatrice had named all 11 of her great-grandchildren that morning, in order, without pausing. But here is what Beatrice's daughter told me 3 months after that call, and what I want you to hear, because this is where the truth of the river meets the truth of the belly. The morning fog lifted, the names returned. But the deeper sharpness, the kind Beatrice had at 60 before age had touched her, that did not return from the pillow alone. We had opened the gate. The river was flowing, but the water itself, after 81 years, was still cloudy with the inflammation that comes when the friendly bacteria of the gut have collapsed by half. So I gave Beatrice the same thing I had been giving myself for the past 3 years. After I searched, my friend, I searched for many years. I tried the fermented vegetables of my village. I tried the fiber preparations the herbalists of Yunnan recommended. I tried single-strain probiotics from many different makers. None of them gave me the final piece I was looking for. The trouble is this. Most older adults are told to take a probiotic, and that will fix the gut. But probiotics alone are like seeds without soil. The seeds will not grow. You need 3 things working together. The friendly bacteria themselves, which are probiotics, the fiber that feeds them, the prebiotic, and the healing compounds the bacteria produce, the postbiotics. The postbiotics are the actual flowers in the garden, the ones that calm inflammation in your blood vessels and let the rivers run clean. Probiotic alone is not enough. You need the seed, the soil, and the fruit, all in the same hand. What I found after 3 years of searching is a small gummy called BoochBod, the only one I have come across that holds all 3 pieces in one place. The probiotic strain Lactospore, the postbiotic strain Postbiotics LM1004, the prebiotic fiber that feeds them, alongside the slippery elm and the dandelion root that the healers in our mountain villages have used for many generations to soothe the inner garden. Over 30,000 older adults are now using it daily, and the small mercy of it, the one many of my patients tell me they appreciate most, is that it is a gummy and not a pill. After 70, after 75, the pills become harder to swallow, and the throat resists what the body needs. A gentle berry chew, taken with breakfast, is a different kind of medicine. When I added BoochBod to Beatrice's mornings, alongside the resting of the small bridge, that was when the deeper sharpness returned, the peace the pillow alone could not give her. Eleanor, the same. Raymond, the same. The position opens the gate. The gummy clears the water. The makers of BoochBod offer a 60-day return. If after 60 days you do not feel the morning fog beginning to lift, you send back the empty bottles, and they return your money. I would not mention this if I did not stand behind it. The link is in the description below this video.
Please speak to your doctor before starting any supplement, especially if you take medication for blood sugar or blood pressure.
Your doctor knows your particular body. Now, my friend, before I let you go, a few small tips from 50 years of watching what truly helps. Do not change all 5 positions in one night. Begin with the rolled cloth in the neck hollow for 1 week. Then move to the right side for the second week. Then add the pillow between the knees. The body learns one teaching at a time. When you wake, before you sit up, gently turn your head left and right. If the motion feels loose and easy, your sleep position served you. If it feels stiff or makes you dizzy, your position needs more adjustment that night. And one more thing. If this video has helped you, tap the subscribe button below. Many viewers tell me they did not realize they were not yet subscribed. It is free and it helps me reach more of our older friends who need this kind of teaching. The body has a great capacity to heal, even at 70, even at 75, even at 80. The old monks watched this in their teachers, who lived past 100 years, still walking the mountain paths with clear eyes. It is never too late to give the body what it has been asking for. You will lie down tonight. You will place your head on a pillow. You will choose, in that small moment, whether the river runs clean for the next 8 hours, or whether the gate stays half closed for one more night. The pillow change is free. The rolled cloth is in your kitchen drawer. Begin there, and if you would like the missing piece, the one that clears the water itself, the BoochBod link is waiting for you in the description, with the 60-day return if it does not work for you. That is the one ask I have for you tonight, my friend. May your sleep be kind to you, and may your morning return to you, clear and warm, like the first light over the mountains.